Green Bay crushed you with all the folks around the stadium in Lambeau, and some big names will be tied to that draft forever. A couple of the rookies that you've watched that are just sticking out in your mind. Interested to see how they fit in the league as the season gets going.
Yeah, you know, obviously so much attention around the quarterback position. And Cam Ward goes #1, and then obviously with Shador and all the conversations around that as the draft unfolded. But I think a guy that's going to be fun to watch when you talk about fit, Mike, I think you look at Ashton Genty. He gets drafted by Vegas. He's now with the Raiders. Pete Carroll. It kind of has the feel of, is he his Marshawn Lynch? Is he the bell cow back under center, Geno Smith, play action, set up that run game, play good defense? This feels like the early path Pete Carroll took when he took over in Seattle and turned them into a Super Bowl champion. So I'm not saying Genty's Marshawn Lynch, but he certainly feels like that's the fit the Raiders were going for when they took him with their first round pick.
Hey, let me ask you about Travis Hunter. Of course, the Heisman winner, Colorado, great play, both sides of the ball as a receiver and a corner. You know, Greg, it's hard to come in this league and play well on one side of the ball. Is it realistic to think you may see him on both offense and defense?
That's the million-dollar question, and I think to start, you have to say, okay, let's hang our hat on something. And I think when you look at the league, where is it harder to find impactful players? I believe it's harder to find impactful defensive backs. I think it's a harder position. I think the league favors the offense with the rules and the play style. So if I'm Jacksonville, I'm making Travis Hunter a defensive back on day one, and then I'm going to package my offensive plays around his skill set to take advantage of him as a wide receiver. And then as time goes on, it will eventually unfold where he'll be able to have a role on both sides of the ball more consistently. But if I was in Jacksonville, that's what I would do. But I think it's going to be very interesting to see how fast and how big of a role on both sides they give Hunter early in his rookie year.
This drive in danger of stalling out on 3rd and 10.
180. What is it?
Jackson now. Quick throw, taken in to the goal line and in. Kylan Wallace, touchdown Ravens. His first touchdown of the new campaign.
And that was just a great drive, really from start to finish, Mike. You could see the play caller just really finding his rhythm, mix in run, mix in pass. Results in the touchdown pass, but really everything they did, the entire possession worked to perfection. You can sustain the drives like that and come away with touchdowns. Man, that goes a long way towards establishing your identity for the rest of this game.
Tyler Luke now for the extra point. The kick is good, and the Ravens take a 10-3 lead. Now, after the touchdown, Luke is back out to kick this one away. Here comes Ford on the return. He'll get this up past the 20. That's where they'll set up shop. Browns offense ready to take over once again. You know, Greg, as we get the season going, obviously the adjustment to last year's new kickoff rules in place. We talked to a lot of coaches during the year. Folks didn't seem too bothered about letting the other team have the ball at the 30-yard line after a touchback. But the 35-yard line, I don't know, does that feel any different to you?
You know, it does, and I think the part that people don't talk about, Mike, is the impact that it's making on going forward on 4th down, not settling for field goals. Because remember, in the old days, if you got stopped inside the 5 or you scored inside the 5, it was all the difference of if I kicked a touchback, they got the ball at the 20. There wasn't that much of a spread, but now all of a sudden, is it in my best interest to settle for a field goal and kick off when I could give you the ball at the 35? Or even if I fail down there tight in the red zone on the 3, you now possess the ball inside your own 5-yard line. So I think that's an element now that's causing offenses to go for more touchdowns, kick less field goals, because the ensuing kickoff is giving my opponent the ball in much more favorable territory.
You know, the other rule that is adjusted are overtimes in the regular season will mirror playoff overtime. Each team getting the ball. I'm so happy, Greg, because I just felt so incomplete when a team got to overtime, but then their offense, which may be the best part of the team, never got on the field.
Yeah, and I couldn't agree more. And you hear everyone saying, oh, well, just get a stop. Well, it's that legendary game between Mahomes and Josh Allen where neither team stopped anyone. It was just an offensive touchdown festival. So you won a coin toss and you get the ball. Well, the other team's defense hadn't gotten a stop the whole game. If Josh Allen got the ball first, he probably would have scored on a walk-off. So I love the idea of both teams getting the ball. If a game is good enough to go to overtime, let's finish it. We don't need to be in a rush. There's no curfew. Let's let the guys finish it on the field a lot more similar to how the regular game goes and not have significantly different game flow come over.
They'll work now on 2nd and 4. They'll run with 4. And he'll get nothing here. Back to the line of scrimmage, and that's all.
Well, this play, Mike, was clearly about the job of this defensive line. Great job holding their ground, forcing these blockers to be stood up. Nowhere to go for this running back, and they hold him to no gain.
That's going to be caught. And this is not going to do the trick. Unable to get back to the line of scrimmage. And it leads to 4th down. Will indeed go. It's Flacco. And he's going to be hit and taken down. They got him with a big-time rush that leads to a turnover on down. On 1st down, they'll start the drive with Henry. And he'll move this ahead for about 4 yards. Carson Schlesinger there on the stop.
You know, it's easy to sit up here and say, hey, just keep running the ball. They've been efficient, just kind of wear down this defense by 1,000 different paper cuts. But the problem is it's only contingent upon your ability to keep the score down. So if you want to continue to run the ball this often, you're going to have to look to their defense to play really well. Heck of an effort by this runner, Mike, just to get back to the line of scrimmage. I think most backs around the league, that play would have resulted in a loss, but not this guy. Continued to fight, continued to do everything he could to prevent the loss, but it still stopped for no gain.
Look at him stay on his feet as he's able to shimmy his way for a gain of about 5.
This just shows why you can't count on just one guy to take him down. He's a powerful enough runner. You gotta have guys coming in support when that first hit is made. It takes a team effort to stop him, especially once he gets going.
The punter remains on the sideline. They're gonna line up and go for it on 4th down. On 4th down, they snap it to Jackson. And that is incomplete, but there is a flag down. It's 4th down, so this is a very big call. Here's Flacco on 1st and 10. A short one that is caught by Fannin.
It's a pickup of 6. Brings up 2nd and 4.
So, halftime straight ahead. And we go down to Scott Hanson, who has our EA Sports halftime report.
All right, Mike, thanks very much. Scott Hanson, good to be with you from the Orlando EA Sports Studios with an abridged halftime report. This one shaping up to be a tight one, as evidenced by the scoreboard. Both these teams playing it close to the vest in the first half. What will happen in the second half? Let's find out as we send it back to the stadium and our commentary team, Mike Tirico and Greg Olson.
Scott, thank you. This is still anyone's game here.